Target acquired. Target acquired.
Boom. What is up, everybody? Brofish. Hello and welcome.
What's up, guys?
Good evening.
Hi, Jinx.
How are you doing?
You owe me a Coke.
How was your Sunday? How was your week? Get ready for Monday.
Yep.
You know, are we muted? No. Oh, we're good. Cool.
Yes. Happy D-Day anniversary.
Happy D-Day anniversary.
Big remembrance. I saw a thing where people were doing, like, on a beach, they did a rake body outline for every person who died.
I wish we had that
on D-Day. I know, I'm sorry.
Oh
I'm just not thinking of it.
gosh.
And they had to do it all before the tide came in, and the entire beach was just outline after outline after outline. It was huge. But anyway.
Karen, Anthony, what's
MLP,
up, everybody?
What's up?
Nan, Dragon Slayer. What's up, MLP? Eddie James, Charm Life Eddie. What's up?
What's up, Susan?
Just chased off an opossum.
Oh, I love
An opossum.
opossums. They're America's only native marsupial.
Get out of here. Mm-hmm. No, come on.
Aren't they cute?
Seriously. All right, so what else is going on? We got Monday coming up.
Yeah, well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I got a lot
That's
of projects. I'm working on irrigation. Just getting the property right. Mm-hmm. Really, just some stuff that when you observe for a time, you're like, oh boy, gonna have to do something about that. You know?
Yeah. Oh,
That's what I'm up to. And, other stuff as well. Working on stuff. Working
Yeah,
on stuff for
trying
you
to get-
guys. Trying to work on some stuff.
yes. What have y'all been up to?
Yeah, what you guys been up to? We got Dragon
What's up,
Slayer.
Rick?
He's chasing off
God
possums.
bless.
Or an opossum. And I mean, I know that it's probably proper to say opossum, but I've always called him possum.
Yeah, well. you
That's probably
play
the
possum,
redneck.
Opossum.
Oh,
Opossum.
wow. I've always...
If I say it too many times, it won't make sense anymore.
Opossum.
Shh.
It's like saying everything's going to be just fine. Just fine.
What's that girl that
Just
did that?
fine.
She has this whole channel, and all she does is just, everything's okay. Is
Everything's
it
going to
Poppy?
be okay.
I think it was Poppy.
Everything's
she
going
says
to
it
be
in,
just fine.
this voice, though. What's up, that dog stray?
That dog stray, what is up, brother?
What was it?
One
There
love,
was a
family.
song we were listening to you did the other day, and I was just like, it was awesome. Can't remember it right now.
Been in the garden, hot, hot, hot. I know that. That's for dang sure, man. But I embrace it,
I do not.
Whenever I approach the suck, I just embrace it.
I don't.
You just got to let that heat get on you and get
I'm
to work.
usually like, hey, do you want me to go get something from in the house?
Wells are running dry already in NorCal. Whoa. What does that mean?
Drought. So, and just wait, because, we're just getting into hurricane season down south, and what I presume is fire season
Right.
in California. So if they're already dry, it's going to be a long, hot, dry summer.
Yeah. Cyberattacks. Biden just put out a statement on that. Ransomware attacks. All of this stuff, if you don't mind, let's just switch gears and hop into it. Let's see. Chuga. All right, what's up, guys? Here we go. This is just all over the place.
What?
They really want it to be in your face.
Closing schools, delaying chemotherapy, and derailing everyday life. San Francisco.
Car. It's a gas line. Bet.
No way, Jose. That's a pickup from kids' school
Oh,
line.
wow, really? My bad.
I could be wrong. No, you're right. It's a gas line. What?
Huh. I've seen this one. That's like
Yeah, that was when
It
the
started,
pipeline.
yeah.
Yep.
the beginning of May. I don't know. So let's read here.
I'll read it.
It can.
Oh, go ahead. No,
It can feel abstract, A group of organized but faceless criminals hijacking corporate computer systems and demanding millions of dollars in exchange for their safe return. Please, I'm sorry. I'm going to read because you guys are going to get upset with me if I make a concise decision without reading. But let's read. But the impact of these ransomware attacks, is increasingly unavoidably real for everyday people. Who are you trying to convince, me or you?
Oh, well,
No, I'm just playing. You read.
These crimes have resulted in missed chemotherapy appointments and delayed ambulances, lost school days, and transportation problems. A ransomware attack on Colonial Pipeline in May led to gas shortages and even dangerous situations caused by panic buying. This past week, hackers comprised the JBS meat processing company, leading to worries about meat shortages or other key food providers being at risk. Last fall, the Baltimore County Public School System was hit with ransomware and forced to halt classes for 2 days, which were being held virtually. As recently as Wednesday, ransomware attacks were causing problems across the country. In Martha's Vineyard, the ferry service transporting people to and from the Massachusetts island said it had been hit by a ransomware attack that disrupted its ticketing and reservation process. Ferries continued operating all week, but the ticketing system was still affected, causing delays on Friday. The recent spate of high-profile ransomware incidences is exactly what cybersecurity professionals have been warning about for years, but it's partially the impact on everyday people, far from the executive suites, cybersecurity companies, or government agencies that regularly fret about the criminal enterprise, that has made the risk more visible. The ripple effects of ransomware can result in everything from mild inconvenience to people losing their lives, and it's only increased in frequency during the pandemic. Can you scroll down? Thank you. It's not only that it's getting worse, but it's the worst possible time for it to happen. Isn't that a coincidence? Said Robert Lee, chief executive of Dragos, an industrial cybersecurity firm. He says on average there are likely 20 to 30 big ransomware cases happening behind the scenes in addition to the ones making headlines.
Huh.
I want to finish, yeah. Ransomware attacks are not new. The money at stake has changed drastically, however, inflating from thousands to millions of dollars, and the targets are more sophisticated as well. The increasing number of companies connecting their systems and adding more remote access points, along with things like widespread use of Bitcoin, have widened the pool of targets. Cyber criminals once focused on small companies and individuals but have made headlines this year for attacks on higher profile victims. Now you've got ransomware attacking whole corporate networks, interrupting critically national function, causing disruption in people's lives. It's really become a national security, public health, and safety threat, said Michael Daniel, president and CEO of the nonprofit group Cyber Threat Alliance.
I'm sorry.
I remember a whole anti-phishing and everything that for years, but you are seeing it, and it's just okay. So my thoughts are that, well, even Michael here is saying that oh wow, it couldn't have happened at a worse time. Well, isn't that darn, we just keep getting hit at the same time, and then everything that's being said about Fauci and his emails, and boy, it just feels like if we just sit back, there's going to be enough rope to.
Greatest show on earth. Mm-hmm. Greatest show on earth, man. I'll tell you what.
So anyway, it's just it's like saying, look over there,
Right. Yeah.
Boy who cried wolf, you'll see shortage.
When you got serious infrastructure things that are probably going to be shutting down or being upgraded, hopefully, or potentially just shut down. Well, what happened to this? What's going on?
Right.
Cyber attack, maybe.
Or
just
shortages, or
Sure. Yeah. Or, instead of a cyber attack, maybe we're seeing some effects of too many people being at home over the last year.
Possibly, but we could see enough of this could be rippled into the stock market. You know what I mean? If somebody knew of a cyber attack before, or potentially as a shortage, before it were to happen, and had stocks or whatever, boy, you can really play with the numbers there.
True.
Anyway, just a thought, and of course there's the other side that maybe it's completely factual, in which case, well, that sucks.
Americans face mounting risk of hackers taking over brokerage accounts. Regulators say. You were just saying about the stocks and whatnot. That's brokerage accounts, I think. I wouldn't know. I'm not a finance guy. My brother would know more about this. It's not just corporations. This is the same thing.
Right.
They're just trying to let you know that, hey, you're going to feel the effects.
Right.
Because the corporations are going to shove the effects and the cost right off to you.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Inflation or fabricated inflation. Who knows? All right. Anonymous threatens to target billionaire Elon Musk for his manipulation of Bitcoin's value with his cavalier tweets and says he shows disregard for the average working person. Really? Disregard? The hacktivist group Anonymous have recorded a message aimed at Elon Musk. Group express their frustration with the Tesla CEO over his cavalier attitude to crypto, where tweets from Musk can send the digital currency plunging. Oh, that's true, because he can just manipulate with a tweet.
Words, yeah.
So, what did they say?
Greetings, citizens of the world. This is a message from Anonymous, for Elon Musk. For the past several years you have enjoyed one of the most favorable reputations of anyone in the billionaire class, because you have tapped into the desire that many of us have to live in a world with electric cars and space exploration, but recently your carefully created public image is being exposed, and people are beginning to see you as nothing more than another narcissistic rich dude who is desperate for attention. It appears that your quest to save the world is more rooted in a superiority and savior complex than it is in actual concern for humanity. This has been obvious to your employees for a long time, who have faced intolerable conditions under your command for years. It is also obvious to the young children working in your overseas lithium mines, which are destroying the local environment as well. You have been open about your willingness to stage coups in order to install dictators in places where your toxic products are being mined. You have even prematurely crowned yourself Emperor of Mars, a place where you will be sending people to die. Your fanboys overlook these issues because they are focused on the potential good that your projects can bring to the world, but you are not the only show in town, and your competition is growing more intense with each passing day. There are plenty of other companies working on space exploration and electric vehicles. You are just the only CEO who has gained a cult following through shitposting and trolling the world on social media. In fact, many people are now learning that the vast majority of Tesla's income doesn't actually come from selling cars, it comes from government subsidies, selling carbon tax credits for your innovation with clean energy. This technically isn't your innovation though, because you aren't actually the founder of Tesla, you simply purchased the company from two people much more intelligent.
So is Anonymous like deep state stuff? I haven't looked too far into it. I guess it is just whoever claims to be it, I suppose. Huh. So this is a kind of an Elon poo post, or I don't know what you would call it, a shit post. I don't mean to cuss, but that's what they call it. Let's see, a meme. I know I said it would be over between us if you quoted another Linkin Park song, but I found someone else. So in the end, it doesn't even matter. That is funny in a way. So this is an example of Elon's, hashtag Bitcoin, and then this dumb post. It's just, I don't know why that has anything to do.
Well, that was an awesome meme, though.
Wait. I miss you. Why are you crying? Because I miss you too. But he's crying because he just... Get it? Oh, wow. All right, weird.
Well,
I'm not in this community
right.
with the finance world. So, none of this has any... Maybe I should get into it, but, looks like now's the time to get into it. Because it's going down and going back up. I don't know. It's on the,
yeah, we were watching a... Did you tell... We were watching a...
I didn't.
Whatchamacallit?
What was it?
I don't know. I think it was a satellite launch.
Yeah.
Last night.
Falcon 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it launched and landed.
It launched and landed.
A SpaceX live stream.
In a perfect spot. Isn't that interesting?
You hear so many people talking about that, but you don't want to know what they're saying. You know what I mean? It's like some people are either super for Elon Musk or they're super against him.
Right. There's not a little. Well, there is. There's some people that are just like, oh, okay, well.
My research shows that his family were technocrats and they seek authoritarian control through technology.
Yeah, his brother was doing that whole growing food in a storage container in the city thing.
Elon Musk sends adult-themed crypto price to the moon after tweeting explicit emoji.
What?
Yeah. Bitcoin prices sink after Elon Musk posts breakup meme. Whoa, what was that? The meme that we just saw? Oh yeah, there it is. And apparently, see why I'm not invested in Bitcoin?
Right.
Because look at that. This is caused some problem for it. How is that? What you see? Has gold changed? Has silver changed?
No.
Has brass or bullets?
I could hashtag a breakup with gold and no one would care. And so could Elon. Hours later, he posted another meme of a man saying, I miss you, to a graph that seemingly showed Bitcoin's.
We should have gotten into it 10 years ago, Kelly says.
Right.
Bit late now, no joke. What's up, guys? Sorry. Awesome Nail Tech, what is up? Good to see you. Smiles, what's up, brother? I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem
What did he post that was adult themed?
this here.
Right. Oh, okay.
Or I assume it was in my last.
Well, that's cool. All right. Well, then.
Isn't that just silly?
Yeah, I mean, oh well, who cares? And then I hate that we're in a place.
Oh, here you go. This is the one. This to the moon, and then to the moon. Oh yeah, okay. So that's like a moon. I don't see what the problem is.
I don't get it.
The acronym produced by these three countries, combined with a flurry of other crypto-related tweets, meant that it was widely interpreted as an endorsement of semen-themed cryptocurrencies. Okay, well, I read that, so I feel dirty now. SpaceX CEO also changed his Twitter profile photo to an anime image featuring the Bitcoin logo, with the character sporting laser eyes, a symbol used by cryptocurrency enthusiasts that signifies their hope that Bitcoin will reach 100,000.
Oh,
See,
gosh.
there's the laser eyes.
Eyes.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all. It's really odd. It's really odd. You want to move on from this?
Yeah.
Still in.
Please.
Well, I mean, in Bitcoin news, still, El Salvador looks to become the world's first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender.
Right. What's up, mate?
What is up, dude? What is up? El Salvador President Nayib Bukele plans to introduce legislation that will make it the world's first sovereign nation to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. That's weird, man. El Salvador is looking to introduce legislation. Yeah, we know that.
That will make it the world's first sovereign nation to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender alongside the US dollar. In a video broadcast to Bitcoin 2021, a multi-day conference in Miami being billed as the biggest Bitcoin event in history, President Nayib Bukele announced El Salvador's partnership with digital wallet company Strike to build the country's modern financial infrastructure using Bitcoin technology. Next week, I will send to Congress a bill that will make Bitcoin a legal tender, said Bukele.
We should look, okay. So people are saying that Doge. What? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to change subjects. Let's see here. Awesome Nail Tech says that right now she's investing in AMC, made 4K so far.
Wow.
Hazardous Condition says Doge is naked shorted in a way that will make AMC look small. Grab $100. It's gonna be a good ride. Hey man, y'all tempting me.
For real.
Sounds like an electric casino though.
Right.
It sounds like gambling. It is. It's just they've turned real stocks into gambling. Okay, you go ahead.
What's up, Jessica?
What's up, guys?
Sorry to tell y'all that Sun has other plans for your Bitcoin, right? Yep. Well, anyway.
Dude smiles. Oh my gosh, man.
So, a lot of excuse me, a lot of movement in Bitcoin. You know, do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it going to be, you know, are we breaking up with it? Is it going to be the next legal tender?
Let me know what your thoughts are on cryptocurrency in general. You know, are you
hate
excited
that we're at
about
a place where the tweet of one person is worthy of entire articles, and that's kind of a point for us too.
Oh, we've been there.
I know.
We're past that.
And I think that we assume
We're at the
that
point-
everybody realizes that we think that that's funny, but like it's really it's sad that like entire multiple articles can be filled just off of the text of one person.
Well, we're at the point now where the tweet of one person is changing the price
Right,
of
economy,
virtual,
yep.
virtual equity.
Yep.
Is odd.
Debbie, solar eclipse June 10th. Yes. So
Didn't we just have one and miss
we
it?
had a lunar
That's right. That's
eclipse. This is a ring of fire total solar eclipse. Well, not total, because obviously the ring of fire effect, it comes from the fact that the moon passes in front of between Earth and the sun, and so it blocks out the light from the sun. But because the moon is so much smaller, it doesn't entirely block it out, so you still get a ring. It literally looks like the ring in the sky from the sun behind it. So you'll need glasses and everything, but it'll be really cool. You'll be able to see that June 10th around 6:53 a.m. Eastern time. And you'll be able to see it on the northeast coast up through Greenland, parts of Canada. And it'll be partially visible for everybody else, but those like up in the northern, they're the ones that are really going to get a good full look at it. And that'll be really cool. But isn't it interesting that we just had the lunar eclipse? Now we're having the daytime solar eclipse. I don't know. It's just interesting. And, it's just interesting, I guess.
James, what's up, dude, from Discovery Bay? That's awesome. Bitcoin goes up and down. Just have to watch it carefully to sell and buy. Tweets are crazy. I agree. Kelly, that's so gangster of you. Meh, I'm an old school banker person. I don't care for crypto, but I think blockchain is interesting from a security standpoint.
Right.
Yeah, well, I hear that. Isn't there like, can't you like, you can get paid somehow to help the blockchain? I don't know.
Really?
I don't know anything about any of this stuff. I'm an old school dude. I'm so old school. I deal with, just raw materials and
Right.
bartering and stuff.
Right.
I'm trying to exercise my wheeling, dealing, bartering skills. If all you've got is chicken eggs, well, you've got to find a way to trade. I want my neighbor's tomatoes, and I've got to
Right.
convince him that he needs my chicken eggs more than
Right.
he needs
Right.
them to. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I see lots of people having fun with
What's
it,
up,
investing.
Bob?
I heard that. Yeah, Bob. He's the one with the comment. He's like, I freaking created a cryptocurrency. The chats of normies make me cringe. I was one of the first in Verge and Doge. LOL. It's cringe because normies come to buy and pretend they're smart. Not me. I don't pretend to be smart. Tell you that much. Not with that stuff.
That's what it feels like too. It would feel like, when you go somewhere and you're not supposed to be there, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I need like a crypto broker.
Right.
I'm gonna have to talk to my brother.
Ofta.
Hey, what you know about this stuff?
Right. So anyway, just interesting. We're seeing, it's been like this, of course, between crypto and Bitcoin and Doge. We've seen it, but it's rearing back up again in the headlines. So just something if you're interested to keep an eye on.
Right. This is just something I saw, and I was like, I'm not sure what this is about. Naomi Wolf, her Twitter account is suspended now.
What?
It's just to let you know,
Right.
the censorship is real. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Some 1984, just dystopic.
American author Naomi Wolf has been suspended from Twitter after spreading vaccine misinformation. Dr. Wolf, well known for her acclaimed third-wave feminist book, The Beauty Myth, posted a wide range of unfounded theories about roll-up-your-sleevers. One tweet claimed that roll-up-your-sleepers were a software platform that can receive uploads. She also compared Dr. F to the top COVID advisor in the U.S., to Satan. The top COVID advisor in the U.S. to Satan to her more than 140,000 followers.
I'm still confused. Okay.
She compared.
Oh, cool. Okay, got it now. Thank you.
Most recently, she tweeted that the urine and feces, I assume that's supposed to be feces or faces of people
It's feces.
who had received the jab, needed to be separated from general sewage supplies while tests were done to measure its impact on non-roll-up-your-sleeved people through drinking water. What? Okay.
Yeah, you see, I've been guys. You got to get on well water. You just at this point. You gotta.
Dr. Wolf was also duped into tweeting a made-up quote on an image of an American adult film star dressed up as a doctor. Her suspension has been welcomed by many on the platform. Professor Gavin Yamey tweeted that he was pleased, adding that Dr. Wolf peddles horrific, dangerous, anti-vax nonsense. Interesting that we're always abbreviating this with 2 X's, okay? And I'm sure that's
Excellent
correct.
point.
But it also, go ahead, break it down.
That's just an excellent point. There just so happens to be a certain,
Right. It's
hardcore symbol that utilizes 2 X's.
Right.
Is all. Mm-hmm. And we'll get into that in another video.
right.
We'll break
we won't
that
break
down.
it
If you're
too
so
much.
interested, you remind me, and I'll break that down.
But some have voiced concern that her suspicion was stifling free speech. In 2019, the U.S. publisher of a book by Dr. Wolf canceled its release after accuracy concerns were raised. During a BBC radio interview, it came to light that the author had misunderstood key 19th century English legal terms within the book. Well, okay, well, what the hell does that have to do with her current tweets, other than just trying to defame her?
That's awesome, hilarious.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It got me. Again.
Oh, okay. Well,
No.
one time and 3 years ago, she was wrong. So,
No, oh gosh, wait a second. Where's my phone?
well, it's right here.
Okay. Never mind. I got so many things I want to show. I'm not able to collect everything I saw.
Right.
What age are we in? Like, there's folks that have been watching the news for 15 years, and they call themselves experts. They've been wrong. They make fun of people who are right, and they'll be on the air for, still called an expert. You know what I mean?
Right. Just random people that, like have nothing to do with anything that, so, oh yeah, it was a meme. So like they have Billy Goats and they're like a scientist. And they've got, oh dang it, I forgot. But basically, just labeling people, because they have money, they assume that they know exactly what they're talking about.
You're right. Yeah, that's yeah. They just get to go and be whatever you're told they are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go back to sleep, America. Your government has it under control.
Right. Has anybody had the conversation with family members that were like hardcore for the news and and then now trying to talk about those emails that got leaked from Dr. Ouchie?
Dr. Ouch. Dr. Ouchie.
Like,
Oof.
it just gets breezed over a lot, I'm noticing. Like,
Let's not talk about
we're
that,
not
please.
going to talk about that.
Have you seen the
as
meme?
it turns out, we just stopped watching the news.
Have you seen the meme where it's Hillary Clinton and she's like looking at Fauci and she's like, you should have deleted your emails.
Yeah.
You should have deleted them.
And then somebody else was like, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say he didn't Epstein himself.
Yeah, we're just going to preemptively throw that out there. Dr. Ouchie did not Epstein
Right.
himself.
Right.
Doctors fear a huge spike in STIs after pandemic.
Yeah.
Are we
hold
in
on.
for a rude awakening? Go ahead.
Very possible. Hold on. Let's see here. They're going to be turning the toilet water into drinking water. Ugh. So if you don't like what someone thinks, just ban them. Sounds American, right? Smiles. Polar Eclipse 6. They've been recycling sewer water into drinking water for a year. Nothing new, guys. Right. And putting fluoride in it, which in small doses is excellent for your teeth, but in larger doses, or really not even large doses, in somewhat moderate doses, it's kind of a zombie, like Dahmer used it. It's not good. It's like a zombie, like I don't remember exactly. We'll have to bring it up, but it creates like zombie, like not zombie as in like eating flesh, but just like droned out, like just mindless.
Honestly, I've become distracted, but I for some
fair.
reason I'm
It's
thinking
fair.
about city water, and they've done tests, and you wouldn't believe what's coming
Yeah.
in through now. Not everywhere.
Like cocaine. No, was it
It was
methamphetamines or something?
prescription drugs and painkillers were
Right.
found in the drinking water
Right.
in certain towns. Now it's not everywhere, but come on, man, what level is that?
Right.
I don't know. That's not cool. Like
We
like
have-
testable trace amounts of that's got to be like. You don't want me to think of what my mind thinks of, because what my mind thinks of is something that you see in a Batman movie with a villain dumping painkillers into the water supply to
Right.
poison the town or something.
Right.
You know? Now, I don't think we have a villain like that necessarily, but who knows?
City
these
water
days.
is allowed a certain amount of E. coli per parts per million. Grody.
Of course it is.
Grody. Last I checked, I am fully vaxxed. Since I was about 5 years old. There you go, Smiles. If you
That's
don't
right.
like what someone thinks, okay, yeah, okay.
Here.
So, according to a new study, cases of sexually transmitted infections, STIs, including chlamydia and gonorrhea, could soon spike as the COVID-19 pandemic winds down.
What?
As we're heading, what the media has referred to as hot vax summer,
Oh, yeah, because people been cooped.
experts are worried that STIs could return with a vengeance.
So they recreated the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
With the gas shortage and like people are gonna want to I hate to be inappropriate here, but the fellas and the ladies, and especially in the
Where's the new Woodstock gonna be?
well, I don't know, I mean, watch out for Burning Man
right.
this year. Burning Man is kind of like a who knows what goes
Right.
on.
Researchers analyzed positivity rates based on data from over 18.6 million tests performed across the U.S. from January 2019 through June 2020. They found that testing for both chlamydia and gonorrhea hit their lowest point in early April 2020 when cases were on the rise. That's particularly significant as cases of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis nearly quadrupled between 2015 and 2019, according to a recent report by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Now that's interesting too, because and forgive me, let's not quote me, and I'll check, but if memory serves me, I believe a worst case scenario end for some of these is you're not able to have children. Like
Are you kidding?
it affects your reproductive health. Yeah. In fact, in some
So Tiff,
I could be wrong. Let's not go too far
well,
down.
no, what I'm saying is, mark my words, that at the very least, okay, because how are you ever going to get something as gruesome as some kind of, World War II era, because
Right.
that's when you saw your concentration camps. That's when
Right.
you saw people on chains, people
Right.
on railroad cars. You're not going to see anything like that again. It's going to be, I don't know all the names to sound super intelligent, but it's like unilateral warfare where it's like, it looks like normal everyday stuff, and the people, for some reason, as time goes on, can't reproduce or can't have
Right.
kids. More and more. The next thing you know, you're gonna 3 generations of people not having. You're gonna cause a huge drop in people.
Well, in my head, okay, so
I just get nervous about that kind of stuff. With Bill Gates being the second largest farmland owner,
Right.
He wants to put something in you. He wants to put something in you so bad. He wants to do it again and again and again. Okay, and then he's got people who watch the shows,
Yep.
and the shows tell people how to think. Okay,
Right.
and if you don't wear the mask, it's like a sign that you don't care, and you're
Right.
and it's chilled out for on the day to day.
Right.
Because we've been to the store and we've been around and we've seen folks. People are cool now, but it's like the people. For the most part, I think everyone's chilled out. But what I'm saying is that they've got that something special they want to put in you,
Right.
and they want to do it again and again and again. They're going to restrict freedom's watch.
Oh, yeah. Can we put our tinfoil hat on for just a fun minute?
Put it on.
Okay. This is just not brainstorming. This is just a thought that has crossed my mind at this point. But wouldn't the most perfectest way for depopulation to be to make it not where people couldn't have children, but where man, you just can't conceive naturally anymore to where, okay, well, if you want a kid, you're going to have to go get the IVF. You're going to have to go have the Petri dish or have it insert, you know what I mean?
Why do you think they've been working on these like the sperm banks and those sort of centers, Planned Parenthood?
So then it's
so
like
that you plan it out. We don't
problem solved. People with no money aren't able to afford to do it.
Your elites don't want unplanned pregnancies like crazy.
Right.
They want it planned. They want to be able to count the numbers.
And then if you, so let's say, and I'm not accusing this, but I'm just saying future technology, you never know, maybe in an attempt to prevent some future disease, they automatically go ahead and, vaccinate your egg, or I don't know. I'm just saying, if your conception is occurring in a petri dish, it leaves a lot of room for interjection.
What about the designer kids? The designer,
right? Exactly. But I'm just saying, like, can you imagine if they're talking about like chipping people with nanotechnology and stuff? Well, what if they didn't have to? What if you were made in a petri dish and they could just do it right there in the petri dish? They could design it into you.
Why? What's with all this genetic modification?
Right now,
what if we're getting to a point to where, I mean, don't even make me. You said tinfoil hat.
I know. I was gonna say, now again,
here comes
take
the clone
that with
talk.
a huge grain of salt, because it was just tinfoil hat. It's just hey, isn't that a possibility? I don't know. Who knows what intentions are?
That you know what they'll say. We watch too many TV shows, which we don't. We don't watch any TV, so we just, that's crazy.
Right, exactly, quiet girl. Exactly.
No, I'm not crazy. You're crazy. I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
Handle their weights pretty irresponsibly from what I see and read. Yeah, I'm broken. You're absolutely right, man. Here's a good one. Thanks for wearing sunglasses to protect the rest of us. Right.
Yeah, I just shared that. It was a good one, man. Where were we on this?
Oh, wait, hold on. Well, I was having fun on the tinfoil hat. Oh
my gosh.
Gattaca. Gosh, I forget it. I forget
what is this?
I don't know.
Attica? What? Let's see. Far fewer tests were performed as health practitioners were busy with battling the raging pandemic, triggering positivity rates for both gonorrhea and chlamydia to rise significantly, the researchers found. Weird. The implication: there may well be plenty of infections that testing isn't catching. That means we might soon be in for a rude awakening as the pandemic slows. That is crazy when you think about it. If they can't get those people who have made up their mind to go and get the roll up your sleever, some of those folks that reject the roll up your sleever or the jab, whatever you want to call it, they don't go to the doctor for anything. Like, straight up, don't trust the doctor. They don't go, like my uncle. I honestly, the only way you're going to get him into a doctor is if something has happened to him, he went unconscious, and you got him in there unconscious. And he'll be cool, but you're not going to get him in there conscious. I'm just talking about, there are some folks that are just not just anti-vax. They're not anti-jab. They don't go to the doctor for anything.
Right.
I'm talking about your dudes. There are still of them out there. I'm talking about men living off the land, working for just a bottle of whiskey and some gas money, you got folks out there that don't go for nothing.
Right, Karen? That's what I'm saying. That ain't no tinfoil hat. That's freaking stainless steel. Right. So anyway, just,
Well, with folks not going to the doctor like that,
right.
What do you think that encourages some crazy technocratic, aristocratic, authoritarian elite get the people sick?
Right.
Then they won't have a choice. They got to go.
Right. No, I'm not saying there wouldn't be any more sex. I'm saying that you wouldn't be able to conceive from it, or no, the majority. You're not going
to be able to have children on your own. You're going to have to go to a doctor.
Women like PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Did you read
is
that?
Rampant. Hold on.
Dragon Slayer said reproductive rates in Western civilization are at a concerning low level. For example, fertility treatments are at an all-time high because of it. Exactly. Yeah.
And so, it's just interesting.
I think the PCR will be positive for the flu. Oh, snap. See my previous comment. Right. I think I just got it. Joe Bakewell.
Chlamydia sterilizes you. Thanks, Debbie. Thank you.
Well, I
Joe
think you learn something every
Bakewell.
day. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, and then also there's one that guys carry, but they don't show any symptoms to, but then they can pass it to females, and it makes females infertile. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Some of
That
these,
is crazy.
Yeah, some of these STIs are just, they're cruel. Remember, they used to back in like the early 1900s. Women, I think it was chlamydia or gonorrhea, but like men would get it and pass it to the women, and the women, like, their noses would fall off, and they had to, like, literally it would eat
What
away.
is that?
Chlamydia or gonorrhea.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm for real. And then
It sounds like a pirate movie.
no, they would have to wear like fake noses. I mean it, or like masks and stuff, because it would be terrible. I'm serious. Y'all
Are we
back
talking
me
about
up.
leprosy?
Nope. And then who is it? He was a real big gangster. And he got an STI, and he was known for being kind of dumb because of this STI.
What if the vax wasn't the problem here? What if it's actually the test that is the problem? Maybe they actually plant the you-know-what into the Q-tip. Things they shove down your nose for the test. I mean, it is suspicious how far in there they got to go. Right? I think that's why a lot of people...
Yeah, that one lady got
and I
brain
think a lot of
leakage.
people are wouldn't raise their hands to show, hey, did you get tested? I bet people would rather just not
Herpes.
answer.
Oh, really?
Or fib. You know what I
I
mean?
think.
Some people don't want that deep down in their nose, right?
Oh man, yeah, my ex gave it to me. Then I'm so sorry.
I didn't
I'm
see.
so sorry, Debbie. Oh.
I'm too dang old to worry about that aspect.
I didn't think herpes did, but shoot, what do I know?
I don't.
Al
apparently,
Capone, that's it.
Al
Thanks,
Capone. He had syphilis and lost his mind.
Yeah.
He went loopy, and they just let him. They let him go loopy.
And it's curable, but it damages you. Yep. They also used metals in their makeup and it.
Thank you.
Yep.
The metals in the makeup and
Al Capone had chlamydia. Sorry, babe. Go
oh
ahead.
yeah, that's right. Makeup used to be so hardcore back in the day. It used to have like lead.
Yeah.
And paint used to have lead. Oh, did they do that?
And asbestos and all kinds of
That
Nose
wasn't.
falling off was syphilis. Yeah.
Ah, got it, Kelly.
Look, I could look up some pictures. It's gnarly.
At a high
Anyway.
level, the study. Okay, wait. Okay, you said it now. What is it? Syphilis.
Syphilis nose.
Nose. I misspelled it. So if you guys judge me on spelling, come on. What is this? It?
Unbroken. No, look from look, see that woman up there? Yeah.
Which one?
Right there, the second one in. Yeah, and her. It's a little rough, but look, go
I'm
up.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Look up that woman right up there.
Here.
No, yeah. Well, that was a show from the Nick, but that's for real deal, like.
Ow.
And
That's
so then,
your nasals in there. Oh.
and so then they would get like fake noses.
Right. Okay. Well, you learn something every day. You do.
You don't always want to.
You don't always
But
want
look,
to.
look, scroll down.
I don't
look,
wanna.
see, like this was like one of I don't think they had them that nice, but they had covers. That was from that movie,
I'm just looking at
The
kind
Nick
of.
or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, well, sorry about that, folks.
Oh god.
The study finds that STI testing dramatically declined and never fully returned to pre-pandemic levels. Yeah, because the people that kind of went to the doctor quit.
No, because people stopped just being floozy. They're like, okay, I know one person. You know what I mean? Like, people weren't mingling because they didn't want to get sick.
Sure.
So STIs weren't spreading because people were having less romantic encounters.
Sure. I'm sure there were a lot less. Positivity rates and a strong likelihood of missed cases, particularly in asymptomatic but potentially infectious individuals. Harvey Kaufman. I always skip names because I'm so bad at them. Senior medical director and lead author of the study, which was published in the American Journal for Preventive Medicine last month. Okay. This is an OGBYN talking. Follow-up analysis will be needed to assess the long-term implications of misscreening opportunities. The researchers who researchers wrote in the study. Are you good on this one? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
So, switching gears.
Right. Okay. I had to bring this one up because it makes me think of that movie, Deep Blue
Alzheimer drug poses a dilemma for the FDA. What dilemma?
Yeah, is on the verge of announcing one of its most contentious decisions in the years. The fate of an Alzheimer's drug that could be the first treatment approved after nearly 2 decades of failed efforts to find a way to curb the debilitating disease. Let's go. Sorry, love.
Just hit the mic. My bad.
On Monday, the agency will rule on the drug aducanumab.
I'm sorry, Joe Bakewell says, do you smell that? And all I can think of is,
What the Rock is cooking.
ooh, that smell.
Yeah, well, or that.
Ooh.
Aducanumab.
Yeah.
Aducanumab.
Which
aims
aims
to slow progression of memory and thinking problems early in the disease. If approved, it would be the first new Alzheimer's medication since 2003 and the first treatment on the market that attacks the disease process rather than just easing symptoms. It would become a blockbuster drug within several years, analysts predict, costing tens of thousands of dollars annually per patient and bringing a windfall to its manufacturer, Biogen.
Well, excuse me. Do you,
know
know
what
how
this
they
sounds
found?
like?
Do you know how they find Alzheimer drugs?
No.
If you watch movies like Deep Blue Sea, you know that that's how they test this stuff. Okay, and they
that's
make.
how you wind up with super smart, super huge sharks in the ocean, and nobody wants that, do we?
Okay, I know that. You see, I watch too many movies. I know how this stuff works. Okay.
Yo, that was one of my favorite movies, for real.
Who didn't like this movie? Well, maybe a lot of you didn't like it.
I didn't
but
think that there was really research labs under the sea. I thought that that was fabricated, and now I'm starting to think there might be.
There might be. I would say more than there might be. There's probably definitely.
And there's a Deep Blue Sea 3 we haven't seen.
We got to see Deep Blue Sea 3. I've never seen it.
What are we doing with our life? Oh, don't dive in there, sister.
Anyway, I don't know. That's just a thing we saw. That's what it reminded us of.
Because it's almost Shark Week.
If you guys don't know, not that this is serious news at all, but for the sports fans out there,
Right.
Floyd Mayweather could make $100 million for the Logan Paul fight coming up. There's this YouTuber fight thing going on. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm not paying attention to any of that, and I'm sure you guys probably are or aren't.
Jake Paul probably next. Floyd Mayweather tells TMZ Sports Logan's little bro is probably his next opponent after he takes on Logan on Sunday. And why? Money, money, money. Check this out. 44-year-old Floyd says he expects to make between 50 and 100 million for an 8-round exhibition against Logan, and he believes he can pull similar figures against Jake. In fact, Floyd tells us he's already raked in somewhere around 30 million for the Logan fight, and that's in guaranteed cash before he even throws a punch. Depending on pay-per-view numbers, Floyd says he can hit the 9-figure mark. Floyd bragged that he changed the game with the first boxing MMA crossover when he pulled $350 million for the 2017 fight against Conor McGregor. I'll be honest.
350 is a stout number for a fight.
Sure is, but that was a freaking awesome fight. Okay, well, I didn't care about the fight, but I was excited about the game because I remember that was a huge deal. He was going from
I remember that
MMA.
he was going from the boxing world to the MMA world.
No.
Excuse me.
Connor was going from MMA to boxing.
Right.
And he had to practice all kinds, and he had that FU
That's
suit
hilarious.
all the time.
Yeah, I remember that.
He looks totally different now.
Yeah.
And does he have a kid? Did he rent a kid to hug him after he won the fight?
No, I don't know. Maybe. I don't think he has a kid. I don't know that much about these guys.
Yeah.
I've seen them pop up in the news because they're working really hard for publicity.
Right.
They do a lot of that. So they come up in the ring and whatnot, if you will.
Right.
Anyway, switching gears. What's going on with this?
Terrible. Sexting among kids is bigger than ever and often illegal. Here's how to talk to your child.
You know what? I don't know, but okay, here we go. Oh boy.
Lauren was in 6th grade the first time a boy asked her to send him a nude picture of herself. It was if you love me, you'll send me this kind of thing, she said. Now she's 18 now. As social isolation and device usage soared during the pandemic, digital media experts say the sharing of nude selfies and other sexually explicit messages among teens and tweens has only gotten worse. Golly, that's terrible. Bark, an online safety service that parents and schools can pay to monitor kids' devices, found the average daily volume of children's text messages that included sexual content is up approximately 37% from pre-pandemic levels, from 0.51% of all activities in July 2019 to 0.7% in May 2021. I mean, you've got kids that are, I get it, but golly, that is terrible. And then also, your school can pay Bark to I assume that's just the school's
I don't know.
devices,
That
right?
is weird. We need to look in further on that Bark thing. What's going on with that?
I assume that's just if they give a device, they're monitoring it. But anyway, so just, we don't have to go into detail about this. Just be aware that if your kids are, between the ages and have a phone or access to the internet, just have
Talk
the
to your
talk,
kids.
right?
Yeah.
Or, shoot.
Speaking of what's in the water, mysterious brain syndrome grips Canada. I don't know what this is about, but it got me. 48 people from the same small Canadian province struck with a baffling mix of symptoms, including insomnia, impaired motor function, and hallucinations, such as nightmarish visions of the dead. Quixotic neurologist working 12-hour days to decipher the clues. Swirling conspiracy theories blaming the illness on cell phone towers, fracking, or even COVID. Wow. What's going on here?
Sleepers. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. There was a town back in the Gap that everybody, it was like a mass hysteria type deal. I wonder if they're going to try to say that. I wonder how far away these people are. They're seeing visions of the dead. That's a big deal. Can we talk about that?
No.
That's a big deal.
Right. Well, it's just one of those inconvenient details like, okay, say a dude, was possessed and did terrible things and doesn't remember it. That's
right.
You're seeing that starting to come up into the mainstream.
Right.
It's in a movie, it's in a show, it's in old movies, it's in old shows. But in a courtroom, they will not let you or take it serious if you say the devil made me do it.
Right, right.
Or
Interesting that you would say that because there's a new Conjuring movie called
exactly. The people who made The Conjuring and Annabelle and whatnot are Insidious. That movie. The same people that make that movie are making a new movie, and I'm seeing all these. But there's a show talking about that too. So
that
weird stuff, man.
Crazy. Okay, so because I was like, ooh, insomnia. I'm feel that, but. Wow. Okay.
These are just some plot lines of a mystery that has stumped Canada's medical establishment because it's socialized.
Wait
attracted.
A minute, you saw zombie and you saw.
Yeah, socialist medicine doesn't help with that.
Right.
Attracted.
Well, you still can't defend yourselves, but we'll look into it.
Equal force.
Well, to what? A zombie?
Well, yeah. I mean, legally,
that's a lose-lose situation. Don't bite the zombie.
Yeah, they don't care about the citizens. You know what I mean? Well, what government does anyway? Attracted the attention of some of the world's top neurologists and fanned fears among residents of New Brunswick, picturesque province of about 770,000 on Canada's Atlantic coast, is in the past 6 years, dozens of people have fallen ill from the disease and 6 people have died. We don't know the name of the disease? Okay, people are alarmed, said Yvonne Godin, I don't know how to say that, the mayor of Bertrand, a village in the Acadian Peninsula in northeastern New Brunswick, where residents have been afflicted. They are asking, is it environmental? Is it genetic? Is it fish or deer meat? Is it something else? Everyone wants answers.
Deer meat. Hey, if you remember a couple years ago, there was the zombie deer.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yep, and don't forget about mad cow.
Yeah, but the zombie deer was a new thing.
I mean, mad cow equals rage virus, basically.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. In my mind, it's what it equals. Why is that cow so mad? You know, as the
What'd you do to that cow?
as the Wuhan wiggle raged across the country the past 15 months, the medical enigma was initially slow to gain national attention. Canadian health authorities, distracted by the need to respond to the pandemic, scrambled to determine the seriousness of the outbreak amongst, which was only publicly exposed after a memo about it by New Brunswick chief medical officer was leaked to the press in March. Doctors investigating the disease say the sluggish response underlines the challenge for other medical conditions to compete for the spotlight during a global pandemic. What are your thoughts?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Okay, so hold on here. Debbie says, my friend got jabbed, had a dream of a baby falling off a mountain, jumped to save it, and hit head on coffee table and smashed his knee. Oofta, oofta. Let's see here. Can mosquitoes spread the sickness? Luckily, drought here has really cut down on skeeters. Good luck, Spirus, man. What's up, Bloopy Droopy?
What's up?
Chronic waste disease is what is taking out deer. Yeah. I hadn't heard of that, Dragon Slayer, but I'll look it up. That's, I will shoot. Real easy to install, no commercials. Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's switch
UC
gears.
Cray. Good study.
I don't know if this is
Saying
appropriate to
Rich House
show.
was just mass hysteria based on fungus mold infection of the food supplies.
High-tech sex robots see fans plan to create custom-ordered perfect clones. That's disgusting. I mean, that's just... I'm sorry. From my perspective, back in the day, it used to be creepy if someone you didn't really want having a bikini picture of you or whatever. And then, well, now, I mean, if an actress can have basically animatronic clones, that's gross.
Right. So listen, a sex robot fan fears advancements in artificial intelligence will lead to protests for them to be granted human rights. Abolishing the sex servitude they were built for. Right. That will be a thing because,
That is absolutely terrifying. That is my worst nightmare. It's not... After all those movies about Conjuring and all the stuff, all the movies, look at that.
Golly.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I'm good on that. Just letting you know that these are in the news a lot. About every time I go to look, there's something about this word right here.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know, folks. Why AI should be afraid of us. Artificial intelligence is gradually catching up to ours. AI algorithms can now consistently beat us at chess, poker, and multiplayer video games, generate images of human faces indistinguishable from real ones, write new articles, not this one, and even love stories, and drive cars better than most teenagers do. Okay, but AI isn't perfect yet. If Wobot is any indicator, Wobot, as Karen Brown wrote this week in Science Times, is an AI-powered smartphone app that aims to provide low-cost counseling. Oh, no. People are going to start telling all their problems to an AI app.
No, and it's going to be recording everything.
They're going to use it all against you one day, I'm telling you.
Dang it.
Be careful about your metadata input. Using dialogue to guide users through the basic techniques of cognitive behavioral therapy, but many psychologists doubt whether an AI algorithm can ever express the kind of empathy required to make interpersonal therapy work. My gosh. So people are going to be talking to an AI and and the robot is going to tell them it's okay and how to deal with their problems.
Well, Poppy's already been doing it. Everything's okay.
Oh gosh, okay.
Everything's going to be all right.
Oh gosh.
I really think everything is okay.
Dynasty, what's up, dude? Detroit become human, but it's real life. Unspecified V, what is up? Good to see you.
There was, I need to get the article, but there's an article I've seen where there was a guy that was a predictive algorithm thought he was going to be involved in a gun incident, but they weren't sure if he was going to be shot or the shooter. And I'll pull the article. We'll talk about it on the next show. It was very Minority Reporty.
These apps really shortchange the essential ingredient that mounds of evidence show is what helps in therapy, which is the therapeutic relationship. Linda Michaels, a Chicago-based therapist who is co-chair of the Psychotherapy Action Network, a professional group, told The Times, empathy.
Psychotherapy Action Network, PAN.
Ooh, good one. Whoa. PAN. You know, that used to be, yeah. Empathy, of course, is a two-way street, and we humans don't exhibit a whole lot more of it for bots than bots do for us. Numerous studies have found that when people are placed in a situation where they can cooperate with a benevolent AI, why do we have to make a distinguishment between maleficent, benevolent?
Right.
They are less likely to do so than if the bot were an actual person. There seems to be something missing regarding reciprocity. Ophelia de Roy, a philosopher at Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich, told me we basically would treat a perfect stranger better than AI.
Yeah, I hang up on AI all the time. Because it's like I would try to
it's not a
interrupt
person.
her, but it's a recording. And so if I say, thanks, I'm not interested, they're just going to keep talking, which is also rude. So I just, I hang up the phone. That's what I do. Hey, this is totally unrelated, but I'll point it out. Ophelia.
You're right, Dynasty. I read that.
Ophelia is the name in
Ophelia.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Are you kidding me?
That's the little girl's
Are you
name
kidding
in
me?
Pan's Labyrinth, and then we were talking about Pan. Anyway,
I know.
just little connections. It doesn't mean anything, but it just was interesting.
Tolo, dude, totally right. Minority Report.
Right.
Let's see. In a recent study, Dr. DeRoy and her neuroscientist colleagues set out to understand why that is. The researchers paired human subjects with unseen partners, sometimes human and sometimes AI. Each pair then played a series of classic economic games. Trust, Prisoner's Dilemma, Chicken and Stag Hunt, as well as one they created called Reciprocity, designed to gauge and reward cooperativeness. Our lack of reciprocity toward AI is commonly assumed to reflect a lack of trust. It's hyper-rational. Dude, they're trying to head shrink everybody to get them into this AI robot stuff. I'm telling you. I mean, it's just pumped out there so hard. It's hyper-rational and unfeeling, after all, surely just out for itself, unlikely to cooperate. So why should we? Dr. DeRoy and her colleagues reached a different, perhaps less comforting conclusion. Their study found that people were less likely to cooperate with a bot, even when the bot was keen to cooperate. That's creepy.
Right.
The more it wants to help is creepy.
Right.
It's not that we don't trust the bot, it's that we do. The bot is guaranteed benevolent, a capital S sucker, so we exploit it. It's true. It's extremely innocent. So it, imagine the basically Judgment Day, the Terminator 2.
Right.
When the teenager is hanging out with Arnold the Terminator. He's a robot, and he's got artificial intelligence, and he's sitting there. He's trying to teach him how to say cool words. Like, you don't say affirmative. You say, nah, man, that's cool.
Right.
And so you could easily trick the robot.
But see, I read it a different way. The bot is guaranteed benevolent, a capital S sucker. So I'm thinking the bot is guaranteed. If you believe that the bot is guaranteed benevolent, you're a capital S sucker.
That's right. That is absolutely right.
Because the fact that they have
you seen My Robot or iRobot?
iRobot, yeah, I'm like it.
What's the first law?
They have to guarantee it is
a robot cannot harm any human. What's the second law? I don't remember what the second law is.
Can't lie, I think.
It can't do anything that would cause a human to be hurt. And the third law is something that can't interfere with the first two laws. It can save a human as long as it doesn't interfere with the first, second, or third law. I don't know. I've seen way too many movies. That was iRobot quote. all of that was from Will Smith, iRobot.
No,
I'm changing
but that's
gears.
been referenced several times in several AI.
I switched gears. Sorry
Hasta
about
la
that.
vista. What's up? Bye, Eddie. Bye, Eddie.
Hasta la vista, baby. I'll be back. Anyway, we need to watch Terminator. Back on
LOL,
stage.
I'm about it.
T-Man airs
Back on
conspiracies
stage.
and flirts with 2024 run. I don't know if you guys saw his statement.
Sooner than you think.
Yeah, he put the statement out.
You guys.
On Saturday, he dismissed Facebook's recent announcement his ban would be for 2 years for violating its rules over the deadly attack by his supporters on the U.S. Capitol. I'm not too interested in that. They may allow me back in 2 years. So unfair, he said. All right, let's see. Again, airing his false claims that election fraud denied him, that might get me in trouble, rightful victory last year. He said that there's no better example of the Democrat and media corruption than the 2020 election, HOAX.
LOL.
That election will go down as the crime of the century. What are your thoughts on it?
You know what? It doesn't matter.
It's one of those
anymore.
things where JFK or JFK's wife was this way and everyone knew it. And not them specifically, but like there's these things like the current sitting president being a sniffer.
Right.
You know, we all know that. You know what I mean? But we're all still just sitting here and
Right.
acting like he's, Joe's not so bad. You know, he's not so bad, you know, but you don't know him. And you only see the image that they've put out to you, which is this not all there, not really capable, nice guy who's just barely making it, you know.
Right.
And it's okay if you don't really think he should be there, because what are you going to do about it?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, you know.
Well, just, I don't know. We'll see. But I will say this. If you thought, look, at this point, 2020 could have just been taking down notes. Big social experiment, taking down notes. This is how people respond. This is, keep your eyes peeled for 2024. You know what I mean? Because if you'll recall, 2020's poop started the second it turned 2020. I mean, by March we were in lockdown and it lasted the whole year. All right, so be prepared. We got in bed until about 2023.
Dude,
and then
Andrew, I totally agree, dude. Totes my goats, 100% right there. It's right above us, or it was.
Yeah.
Boom. There he goes.
Right.
Here's the thing, personal for me. I'm not the guy that's like I don't drive at night, but I have turned into the guy that's like I prefer not to.
Yeah. We were just talking about this last night.
Here, you got to take this one.
Blinded by brighter headlights. It's not your imagination. I am the woman in my block where I flash everybody because there's no lights.
Why do you flash?
Because I think that they've got their brights on because we live in a rural street. There's no street lights, so it's totally normal because there's road and then there's ditch. So if somebody's walking on the road, like they really are at risk of getting hit because nobody can see anything. So it's smart to have your brights on coming up our road, but it is still heavy enough traffic that, I don't know. So I assume people have their brights on, which would be normal at nighttime, to avoid hitting people. And so I'm like, turn your brights off, turn your brights off, turn your brights off. And then they high beam me and they're like, they weren't on in the first place. And then I feel terrible. And, this is all just a conversation between our lights, but in my head, I know what's happening.
Hey, big boy, what's up, dude?
So
oh my gosh,
anyway,
I thought it was just me. No, it's not, man. It's not.
I feel like, I get the starburst effect when I'm looking at lights. I'm like, oh, this is just terrible. I feel like an old lady, turn your dang, those new configured bright lights. The light-emitting diodes in the headlights of oncoming traffic became so intense for Sean DeVries that he started habitually closing his left eye and keeping his right one open as he drove. I do this.
Yeah, because it makes you lose depth or
Yeah,
something. It
mhm,
does
where
something to me where I can't see right.
I'm literally like,
here's the thing.
I hope you can see because I got to close my eyes until we pass.
Look, hold on. Let me make a distinction here. Okay, you see this blue light back here? This is either an HID, a hyper-intensity diode, or a light-emitting diode.
That was in 2019. Okay. Since then, he said his right eye hurts so bad, sometimes I just want to pop it out. What did I say earlier today? If I could just pop this eyeball out, all of my pain would be gone. Light sensitivity.
It might be the LEDs, dude.
It's affected his social life and his driving habits. Yeah. We were just driving last night, and I've had the worst headache just in my right eyeball. That's why I was like, oh, I'm not throwing Illuminati signs up. I just would prefer to pluck this eyeball out.
No, yeah, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, well.
Whoa, I hadn't read this article yet, so wow, that's interesting. We were just talking about this last night and how bright lights are, and I started to think it's affected me for like 2 years now, and I started to think, well, it's just because like we had just moved out here, and I was like, well, it's because I'm used to living in the city where there's lights all around. And so it didn't affect me as bad. And so now because it's so dark everywhere else that when I see headlights, it must just be affecting me really worse. But no, it's terrible. It's terrible. Anyway, okay.
He said he developed intermittent pain and a light sensitivity that has affected his social life and his driving habits.
And these lights, when we turn them on, both of us have complained about like, those lights are just killing us.
They're too bright.
Yeah. No, they're not even bright. It's like this yellow that like sears your brain. I don't know.
Mr. DeVries, 48 of Dune, Iowa, said he does not have diabetes or high blood pressure, which could affect his vision, nor does he engage in risky behavior that could harm his eyes. I didn't weld without a helmet, he said. I didn't stare at the sun with binoculars. Advances in lighting technology have improved nighttime driving for many, but the introduction of brighter lights that also sit higher on SUVs and pickups has given rise to widespread criticism that headlights have become overpoweringly intense. On purpose, man. No offense. I'm pointing the finger at our first responders, man. Those hardcore, vamped up blue lights. I know that it's for the safety. That's great. But, man, tell me the last time y'all got close to some police lights and tell me that was...
Oh, my gosh, they're so
I couldn't
distracting.
See. We passed a wreck around 9 o'clock. And I swear I was losing my vision the closer I got to that cop car. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to everything. It's like I can't see.
It's very distracting. It's very distracting.
But and then the firefighters got the vamped up lights. But here's the thing.
Yes, it is, Joe. Yes, it effing is. Okay.
What?
Revved up like a douche
in the middle of the night.
Blinded by the light. Anyway, that is definitely how it goes.
Oh,
yes, it is douche. I'm pretty sure 99%.
It's a deuce. Deuce is an old car. A deuce, like revved up like a deuce in the middle of the night, blinded by the light.
Okay. I definitely thought it was douche.
It's deuce.
Revved up like a douche.
I know, it's a deuce. Hold up.
No.
Switch gears. Hold up. I gotta.
Revved up like, I'm really, really sure though.
Well, I'm not looking up the lyrics. I'm looking up an old deuce car.
I always thought it said wrapped up like a douche and a roller in the night. I'm broken.
I don't know which one of these is a deuce, but something like that.
Wrapped up like a douche.
Yeah. A deuce coupe. You know? Deuce coupe. Revved up like a deuce. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the brights, the lights suck.
Yeah.
Okay? We got to figure something out. Or y'all are just going to have to get okay with me not being able to see and wearing sunglasses at night. You know what? It's going to be me and the insurance that's going to tackle that one.
Good old Duesenbergs. A deuce is what you leave in the toilet. That's what I say.
Yeah, that's what I started to think after I Googled it. I was like, oof.
A douche or a deuce,
You know, deuces are wild.
Little deuce coop.
You better watch out for them deuces, man. Them deuces are wild, man. Yeah, you know, anyway.
I thought it was that for years.
Speaking
then I
of...
it was deuce one day.
Speaking of cars, right? The future of classic Porsches and Jaguars, electrification. Okay, so they're going to be doing these retro mods where they turn your old, your old cars.
Brilliant. All right, if you've got to do it, this is brilliant. This is a brilliant tactic. Of course, it's going to totally normalize it. Yeah, absolutely.
It was a quiet day at Moment Motor Company, an electric vehicle conversion garage in Austin, Texas, when founder Mark Davis said he heard squealing. He knew it wasn't a fan belt. Christy Butler had arrived with her family to inspect the car of her dreams, an ivory white 67 Mercedes-Benz 250 SL with the pagoda top. Bam.
Beautiful.
Let's see. After months of searching for her ideal car, Mr. Davis had found one whose engine he could replace with powerful electric motors, inverters, and batteries. So, see, I gotta find this guy's shop because I'm wanting to do that to an old, like something. I'm already in this vein. This is already cool to me. So I don't know if they're tricking me in with this, but I guess so. Because this is the only kind of electric car I would be able to do.
She called me on Monday and told me how much she loved it, Mr. Davis said. And in the next breath, how she could not wait for me to get it out of her garage. It reeked of gasoline and was dripping oil on the floor. It's so hard. It's hard to start. It's got 2 chokes, an old 4-speed transmission. So what happens? Her passion, her dream of the car fades away. When she gets it back, Mr. Davis said, she can just press the pedal and go. Okay.
Gasoline to EV conversions are not new. I met a JPL scientist in Pasadena, California, who had done the same to his MG British sports car in '65. Holy crap. Using lead acid batteries. Facebook and the website evalbum.com document decades of such projects, from mild to wild, mowers to dragsters, by over-functioning do-it-yourself I don't know what that is. What is that?
Quoxies?
Yeah. Well, I'm totally already in this vein. I would either get into this and
yeah,
do a build.
No, it's really cool. Spyro said he's doing his 2004 Impreza.
Yeah. See, and I have an old van, or I would try to find just a roller, just an old body of a truck,
right,
and put you a forklift electric motor in it. I'm glad I sent that to you because I'm gonna want to look into that. There's a forum I can look into and start figuring out some.
Hurry up and get off of this.
Yeah, hurry up because I've got too many projects. This is kind of good news. It's from CNN, so I don't know how much you can believe it.
Right.
Some U.S. hospitals mark first time being COVID-free.
Others still see surge of patients. Wait,
So-
doctor. Yeah, I mean, really, that's kind of face value. It's because obviously some hospitals around here were completely empty.
That's right.
But then others were, breaking full. They say so. I don't know. Take that for what it's worth. Just know it's out there.
That tells you what we think about CNN. That's
All
for
right.
sure. This is a thing. Fake roll up your sleevers. In Africa, so don't worry. But if it's happening there, no telling what they're gonna do here.
Spyrus, okay, no, I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
It sounded
I was
like
oh,
you didn't
okay.
get. No, she totally bought it. She's like,
I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm really gullible.
yeah, we're all on board. That sounds awesome. Let us know how it goes.
I mean, if that's your thing, man, 2004, cool.
No, Scott, I couldn't imagine that either. That would be a crime. But if you found an old 68 Roadrunner that needed a little bit of work and you wanted to make an electric apocalypse mobile, wouldn't that be cool too?
I wish I could convert my 05 Ford ZX5 Ford Focus. Actually, that does seem like a really good runner to be an electric car. The little
Absolutely.
hatchback, so cute
Absolutely.
and zippy. It would be electric.
Dude, you have an excellent idea there.
Oh yeah,
I'll stop.
On a morning last November, officers from Customs and Organized Crime Unit, backed by 2 canine units, raided a small warehouse in an industrial park and seized an alarming new contraband: fake roll-up-your-sleevers. Inside, authorities found around 2,400 doses of illicit vaccine and 400 ampoules hidden in plastic containers in a refrigerator, according to police officials. Counterfeit 3M branded N95 masks worth almost $450,000 were discovered in a warehouse next door. Both units were leased by a Zambian national who was arrested on site, along with a Chinese national. Another 2 Chinese nationals were arrested following further investigation. In Germiston, South Africa, bust was to date Africa's biggest public seizure of fake coronavirus vaccinations. African governments, police agencies, and health authorities warn it could be just the beginning. The problem isn't unique to Africa. Pfizer Inc. said in April it had identified the first confirmed instance of counterfeit versions of the roll-up-your-sleever it developed with BioNTech SE in Mexico and Poland. But concern is partially acute on a continent that is dramatically lagging behind the developed world in vaccinations, and that is already the world's largest market for fake medication.
I'm sorry, the comments. Unbroken, have a good night. I don't know if you're joking or not, but I'm just saying good night just in case you're not joking. Dragon Slayer says, converting a late 60s Mopar to electric would be blasphemous act of sacrilege. Sacrilege, sorry, scarrilege. Problem with EV is that it takes 8 hours to charge to go 80 miles. Hybrids seem more practical.
In my home.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. My problem is I like the way a Prius looks. I feel terrible for saying that live on a YouTube video to the internet, but it's because I watched a video where somebody put an 800 horsepower crate motor of some kind into a Prius.
Right.
And it had like ridiculous amounts of horsepower with that, that power to weight ratio where it had all that power.
Right.
And it weighs as much as a hybrid Prius. Mm-hmm. And then they put a minigun on top. I think the people that did that was Black Rifle Coffee Company. It may not have been them, but it was a promotional stunt with them and someone else. But
They've not redeemed themselves
ever
yet.
since then, I was like, oh, so a Prius could be awesome if it had 800 horsepower. It would be ridiculous. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm way off topic here.
No, you're good. You're good.
This is crazy. A top Wuhan Wiggle scientist is being frickin' hunted by a far-right sniper who has gone AWOL from the army.
Belgium's leading COVID-19 expert is in hiding with his family amid an assassination threat.
I need your man card, Landon. Oh, I knew it.
Mark Van Rest has been placed on a hit list by a military sniper who's on the run. Military instructor Jurgen Konings is on a terrorism watch list because of his far-right beliefs. Okay, but that's just a bunch of assumptions. How do we know for sure that this guy is being hunted? Belgium's leading expert on COVID is in hiding after being placed on a hit list by a rogue military sniper with ties to the far right.
Rogue military sniper.
Konins, a military instructor, went on the run almost 3 weeks ago after making threats to Professor Mark Van Ranst, a virologist who has advised the Belgian government on restrictions to slow the spread of the coronavirus and vaccines. According to reports, Konings had drawn up a hit list of 10 targets, including Van Ranst. Van Ranst told BBC News that he was living in a safe house with his wife and 12-year-old son with round-the-clock security.
Whoa.
Special Belgian police searching for far-right soldier Jurgen Konings, who stole weapons from a barracks. Konings said made previous threats against virologist, Belgian public health official for coronavirus, Mark Van Ranst, described as acute threat.
Acute threat.
The threat was very real, Van Ranst said, describing the night he and his family were forced into hiding. The ex-soldier, heavily armed, was on my street for 3 hours right in front of my house, waiting for me to arrive home from work. Police say that after leaving his barracks, Konings headed straight for Van Ranst's home, but Van Ranst said he'd arrived home early that evening and was already inside when Konings began monitoring the property. The scientist is not the only person on Konings' hit list who has been provided with enhanced protection. I'm not gonna.
I see. I'm so bad with the names.
Yeah, this person, this one right here, reports that a lawyer who worked on his divorce, his ex-wife,
and see military figures involved in disciplining him for his extremist beliefs are also being shielded. Well, hold on a second there. Number one, is he not just Okay, I'm not going to come in. Okay, I'm just going to
Right.
leave that there.
We'll
That
just
is.
leave that alone because we don't know enough about it.
Nope.
But we would advise you to keep an open mind. News is BS, and that's half of the show. Is just like, can you guys believe these headlines? This is ridiculous.
Isn't that insane?
So be aware. You know, I do
Freaking
think that there's
AWOL
a
sniper.
that's the problem with half truths. Look at it like a puzzle. You know, you got to find the little grain of truth amidst all this other baloney.
Debbie, she says it best. Who in this room ever thought in a million years we'd see what we are seeing today in our lifetimes? Not me. Not me neither. No way. The comments were just had me rolling over. MLP's like, no, Landon, no, Prius. Because, you know, I really did jab myself in the gut there with that one.
Sure did.
Oof. I didn't. Okay, look, I don't like Priuses. I'm not saying anything about them. If I was blessed with a Prius, I would drive it. But, you know.
I would look adorable in a Prius.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I saw this one. Woman reveals dark hobby of seducing infamous serial killers by mail. She likes Risk. Somebody should have taught her how to play Risk. Because whoa. Anyway.
Golly.
A couple in Yonkers had a dark hobby of decades seducing serial killers by mail. For more than 20 years, at least 100 of the country's most vicious serial and celebrity murderers,
including John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Richard Ramirez, son of Sam, David Berkowitz, Charles Manson, Arthur Shawcross, Edmund Kemper, Carla Faye Tucker, Robert John Bardo, and Gerard Schaefer, among others, eagerly corresponded with Barbara and Richie Dickstein. To hook the criminals, Barbara and Richie wrote letters pretending to be whatever turned on the killers, like when she sent photos of a local stripper and pretended it was her to tantalize Ramirez. If you look at most of these serial killer childhoods, they never had any love. I think that they thought that with us, here's someone willing to show me love, and I'll try it with them, Barbara told the Post. The Dicksteins first wrote to Son of Sam around 1992.
That lady needs Jesus stat.
It was Barbara's idea, she said, because she knew someone who had narrowly missed being a Berkowitz victim. Richie was a corrections officer, and they both were curious about the minds of killers. The letter writing took off and continued until they stopped around 2005. Barbara with her late husband, Richie. Richie, who was heterosexual and died in 2018, persuaded Gacy, Dahmer, and other gay murderers that he was homosexual. Dahmer, a serial killer and cannibal, wrote to Richie asking to see every unclothed muscular inch of you. When Dahmer's fellow inmate Christopher Scarver killed him in 1994 by crushing his skull with a metal bar, the Dicksteins began writing to Scarver, and he sent them death photos of Dahmer. Golly!
Why does he have those photos?
Anyway. I don't know. Richie also managed to convince Susan Smith, the South Carolina mom convicted, that he was in love with her. Susan Smith was obsessed with my husband, and Bardo was really obsessed with me, said Barbara, now retired from a career in marketing. Bardo, who fatally shot actress Rebecca Schaefer in 1989 after stalking her for 3 years, mailed Barbara an average of 15 letters, some as long as 20 pages a week, until she got sick of trying to keep up with him and dumped him. The Dicksteins trove contains more than 30,000 letters. Many reference killers chopping up their victims, raping and torturing them, and delighting in their pain, and are too graphic to publish.
Whoa, Debbie says my dad worked with Son of Sam at Xerox. He wrote stuff on bathroom stalls about killing again.
Golly.
What?
The collection, which includes audio tapes of calls from the prisoners and their artwork, from the basis of a new crime podcast, Killer's Vault, launching June 28th. The podcast will be hosted by Law & Order actress Elizabeth Rome, actor Eric Roberts, and will voice the murderers as he reads from the letters.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
I'd watch it. Like, just because, like, it's interesting. She's a little that's a little weird, all right? That's a little...
You have piqued my interest. I have held off from the mystery murder genre for long enough. I think I will dabble. What's this podcast called again?
I bet she 2As. I bet she 2A
I bet she
carries.
can't sleep without a...
Yeah, I'm like, you get, look, like when you're just playing around with somebody who stalked and murdered someone for 3 years, well, just the stalking part, and like...
Yeah, that's like flirting around with a mountain lion or a bear.
Scroll down just a little bit. Oh, okay, there, no, up, sorry. Barbara herself was upset when she found out one of her favorites, Carla Faye Tucker, had been executed by lethal injection in 1998. Tucker, a one-time groupie attached to the Eagles and the Allman Brothers, killed 2 people with a pickaxe during a 1983 burglary. I started crying, Barbara said. Richie was like, "Why are you crying?" I said, I feel the same way about her as you do about Berkowitz. We just clicked. We both loved cats and gardening. Barbara also liked the so-called Angel of Death, Richard Angelo, the Long Island nurse who was convicted of killing 8 of his patients and poisoning 26 more in 1989. What were we saying about some people don't go to the doctor? We had an affinity, Barbara said. Anyway. Whoa. Richie and Charles Manson wrote each other for years, but Manson was certifiable and his letters barely made any sense. But after 5 years, it got to be more of a job. The higher the body count, the more Richie wanted to write them. I got close to a few with low body counts, and Richie would say, "Why are you spending time writing to nobodies?" But I like some of the nobodies. Golly.
I'm just trying to read. I can't really
make it out. High pumps and I don't know. Anyway.
Hollywood. There's an address.
Well, yeah, P.O. Box or...
Okay.
I don't know.
There you go. Night Stalker. Terrorized residents up and down the California coast. In 1984-1985, Ramirez was convicted in 1989 of 13 counts of murder, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. Just a freaking...
He corresponded with both Richie and Barbara, but didn't know they were married.
Really? Ramirez talked endlessly about his... Ooh, gross. All right, wow. All right, that is creepy, man.
Golly.
Anyway. Anywho.
So, yeah, there you go. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing. See? They're glorifying death and the people who do it. Am I right? And the terrible things. Finance leaders reach global tax deal aimed at ending profit shifting, which is... The top economic officials from the world's advanced economies reached a breakthrough on Saturday in their years-long efforts to overhaul international tax laws, unveiling a broad agreement that aims to stop large multinational companies from seeking out tax havens and force them to pay more of their income to governments. Well, it's coming then. You know, a global one world order of tax deal, right? At least for now. I don't know much about that. It's out there in the news. If you want to know more about ending profit shifting, it's out there. I'm sorry, I'm running through them. This is the one I wanted to get to, or just one.
Right.
What the heck? Crazy headlines, am I right? High Court asked to review men-only draft registration law. Well, we want to take your sons and daughters now.
Right.
Like, whoa. What? The Supreme Court is being asked to decide whether it's sex discrimination for the government to require only men to register for the draft when they turn 18. The question of whether it's unconstitutional to require men but not women to register could be viewed as one with little practical impact. The last time there was a draft was during the Vietnam War, and the military has been all volunteer since. But the registration requirement is one of the few remaining places with federal law treats men and women differently, and women's groups are among those arguing that allowing it to stand is harmful. But the ones arguing to change it aren't going to war.
Right.
What the fuck?
Women should be allowed to go to, like, golly.
The justices could say as soon as Monday whether they will hear a case involving the Military Selective Service Act, which requires men to register for the draft. Rhea Tobacco Marr, the director of the American Civil Liberties Union's Women's Rights Project, who is urging the court to take up the issue, says requiring men to register imposes a serious burden on men that's not being imposed on women. Get the F out of here. Men who do not register can lose eligibility for student loans and civil service jobs, and failing to register is also a felony punishable by a fine up to $250,000 and 5 years in prison. But Tobacco Marr says the male-only requirement does more than that. It's also sending a tremendously harmful message that women are less fit than men to serve their country in this particular way. And conversely, that men are less fit than women to stay home and caregivers in the event of an armed conflict. We think those stereotypes demean both men and women, she said. So both of you go to war, and we'll keep the government will keep the kids. Government keeps the kids. You go to war. Deal? And then it's equal.
To her, I would say, honey, you only got to get as upset as you allow yourself to. It doesn't have to upset you. Certainly it wasn't meant or written to upset you, right? But if you really want to be upset about it, well, then I guess
Even if the draft is never used again, retaining the men-only requirement sends a really damaging message. Sorry, I thought it said dangerous. Said Tobacco Marr, who represents the National Coalition for Men and two individual men challenging the law. A group of retired senior military officials and the National Organization for Women Foundation are among the others urging the court to take the case. Okay, well, I don't know. Is it pretty obvious where I am on that?
Yeah.
I guess. The Pentagon is keeping its ban on the pride flag and other flags at installations. No, none of that. They don't want any of that. Not at installations. The Pentagon confirmed Friday it will not allow rainbow pride flags to fly at military facilities in celebration of Pride Month. That fell in line with the Pentagon's 2020 decision to permit only certain flags at Department of Defense installations. Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby told reporters the DoD chose not to make an exception to the existing flag policy after careful consideration. What's up, Guns, Games, and Gadgets channel? What's up, dude? Along with the American flag, the current policy implemented under the T-Man administration authorizes flags representing states and U.S. territories, military services, prisoners of war and missing in action, national flags of U.S. allies, and a handful of others. This in no way reflects any lack of respect or admiration for people of the LGBTQ community. Personnel in and out of uniform who serve in this department, Kirby said, we're proud of them. The flag policy was put in place last July to bar the display of the Confederate flag without specifically referencing it, as NPR previously reported. Kirby said making an exception for the rainbow pride flag could leave the Pentagon open for additional policy changes down the road. This was really more about the potential for an exception, this case about the potential for other challenges that could arise from the
exception.
I'm sorry, you go ahead.
So, yeah. President Biden acknowledged Pride Month with an official proclamation earlier this week. Nearly 14% of his federal agency appointees identify as LGBTQ+, he announced.
Do you have a flag? Well, then if you don't have a flag, then it's not... That's the rules. Sorry. Anyway, that's a good one, Kelly. You reminded me of the Eddie Izzard. Yeah, so, I don't know. I believe it was the U.S. military arrested an Israeli journalist or something like that. I don't know. There's some kind of backlash going on right now. It's in the news. A couple of different places are reporting on it. Something went down. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with it, but I've actually kind of... When I see the stuff going on over there,
right?
I'm not an expert or anything,
but it's good to pay attention to.
Right.
Israeli police burst into the home of a prominent family in the contested Shiki Gerar neighborhood of Jerusalem on Sunday. The family said arresting a 23-year-old woman who has led protests against attempts by Jewish settlers to evict dozens of Palestinian families from their homes in the area. The young woman was later released, but her twin brother turned himself in and remained in custody.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. The arrests came a day after Israeli police detained a well-known Al Jazeera reporter covering a demonstration in the neighborhood. The reporter, Jivara Budiri, was held for 4 hours before she was released and sent to a hospital to treat a broken hand. It was not clear how her hand was broken, but her boss blamed police mistreatment. Earlier this year, heavy-handed police actions in Shakira Gerar and other parts of eastern Jerusalem fueled weeks of unrest that helped spark an 11-day war between Israel and Hamas militants in the Gaza Strip. Those tensions are simmering again this week and could flare anew if Israel ultranationalists follow through on plans to march Thursday through the Muslim quarter of Jerusalem's Old City. Israeli police were expected to hold consultations on whether the parade, which was originally set to take place when the war erupted on May 10th, would be allowed to proceed.
No kidding, short fuse. But yeah, with Hamas and Israel between, I think those things are going to continue to simmer and boil.
Yep. Wars and rumors of wars.
Yeah, unfortunately. Birthing pains, Let's see. What is this, a video? I don't know. Do we have a video? Maybe not.
Quite the shakeup. Residents in Southern California have been dealing with a swarm of earthquakes this weekend. More than 600 tremors have been detected in a remote part of the state near the border with Mexico. CNN's Tom Sater joining me now from the Weather Center. So I hear 600 and that sounds alarming. Is there reason to be concerned?
It is. Well, the experts, Frederica, will tell you it's almost too hard to predict the big one, but it is concerning, obviously, with this many, what we now call foreshocks, because the one today, magnitude 5.3, would become the earthquake now. But let me show you this Google Earth image to let everybody know exactly what we're talking about on a grand scale here. You get down in Southern California, close to the border of Mexico. You can see San Diego, and just east of there, on the southern end of the Salton Sea is where we had our 5.3. Yes, it's along the San Andreas Fault. There are numerous faults in California, but everyone's wondering, well, what does the forecast mean then if we've had this much energy being released from the Earth? This 5.3 is relatively shallow. When you look at 3.6 miles deep, that's considered very shallow, considering many around the world are hundreds and hundreds of miles deep. However, when you look at the activity and the shaking today, a good 1,000 people, you see there on the scale there in yellow, felt strong shaking, 9,000 moderate. So again, even though this is a 5.3, the weaker winds can still be felt. But a 5.3, Frederica, is strong enough to do some damage even to masonry buildings. Around the world, if you want to look at a 5.0 or greater, we have about 1,300 of them a year. But this is concerning. So as we look at the aftershocks, or I should say the quakes that have happened, the foreshocks, as I mentioned before, because today's 5.3 is the earthquake, you can see in areas of yellow, those are in the last 24 hours. The colors of orange are in the last 6 hours. Now, the forecast now from the USGS says there is a good chance that we could have 10, 20, or even 30 aftershocks that are 3.0 magnitude or less. However, there is a 10% chance, Frederica, that they say we could have one or two in the next couple of days that could be greater than a 5.3. Now, if that happens, then they redo the forecast, and it'll continue. They are going to taper off over the next couple of days, but again, 10, 20, and 30 at 3.0, that's going to continue to keep people on the edge of their seats.
Yeah. So, holy crap, Andrew. You just reminded me. I have seen that, the reactor or some kind of
story. This
technology that's going to make their own sunlight. I don't know if that's for crops, where Bill Gates is going to be the second largest farmland owner here in the U.S. and then not grow anything and make us go into a food shortage. Now, this isn't real. This is just my skeptical mind thinking of worst case scenarios, just spitballing. And then China becomes some kind of supreme power because of their ability to copy things with fake, cheaper materials. And, I don't know, man. It's weird with how these things are shaking out, but don't be dismayed. Don't worry about that. As we round out tonight, guys, give it to God. do what you can with what you've got. Leave the rest to him, and just be willing to do.
Amen.
Be willing to do. Diligent hands are going to be blessed. That's what I've got for that. I'm going to go back into some word real quick before we close out. Okay. Ephesians chapter 3, 17 through 19, verses 17 through 19. That Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend with all the saints what is the width and length and depth and height, to know the love of Christ, which passes knowledge, that you may be filled with all the fullness of God. Right? So, switching gears.
If you haven't read Revelations,
In closing, if you haven't read Revelations, let me know where you're at with that, either now or in the comments below, wherever you're at on that, because I'm about to start
Landon has gone over it 3 or 4 times, and I have not. So I'm gonna read Revelations.
Yeah, but the good stuff
Wish
is
me luck.
in the gospel: Matthew, Mark,
Yeah,
Luke, and
amen.
John.
Amen.
A lot of good stuff in there, and really the whole thing is excellent.
Yes, didn't they hack meats? Yeah, Eddie. Supposedly they hacked meats. And my dad said he was at Sam's, and now granted they were good cuts of meat, but he said for 4 steaks was $100.
Spyrus, that is hilarious.
Did you hear me?
Yeah,
4 steaks, $100.
I knew it was going to that. I had a feeling.
Anyway,
EMP, solar flare, cyber attack, WW3, civil war, etc. Something is going to
zombies.
happen.
Who knows?
Do the best with what you can. Start our networking. It'd be nice if Unspecifiedians could link up and become stronger, but they don't like it when you talk like that with the whole organization stuff like that. So, but guys, we love you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Hopefully, we can come back and hang out tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We'll see how the scheduling works. I want to. So, hey.
Please
You guys
pray for us. We've got a lot going on. We won't bore you with it, but it's a stressful.
pray for us, guys. We keep you
Stressful.
in our prayers. We pray for you guys
Stressful time.
every time I pray. And we love you guys, and we hope you have a good night. We'll hope to see you tomorrow. I hope you have a good day tomorrow. I hope you be encouraged and uplifted and wake up with a great, awesome, positive attitude and positive energy, ready to go, ready to take Monday on by storm. You think the world's got something, you ought to have something ready for the world.
Amen.
Go to God and he'll get you ready for it.
Amen. Smiles. Man, I really want to get into that.
What?
CERN opened the gates like Revelations talked about.
Right, something
But we
like
don't
that.
know how many hundreds of years or days it will take to take place. Yeah. Lady Gators.
Yeah. Yeah. Time to keep on keeping on. We love you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Until next time, guys, be vigilant out there. Be safe. Be smart. Grow fish. We'll see you next time, guys.
Night, guys. Thank you.